To start, I used the colors 645, and I'm simple make a few landmarks. When you draw a nose, I'd like you to think about blends. Okay, the nose is very three-dimensional. Think about three-dimensional. Alright, so just a simple shape right here. You look at what I'm doing right now, okay? So I would just start like this. But when this is the bottom of the nose. And this is John. John have a very strong nose, a very beautiful nose for her to learn to draw, and beautiful structures of the nose here. See the bridge of the nose here, and I was make it easy for you to see. Okay, I will name is number 1 in here, number 2 top of the nose, number 3 right here is number 3, number 2. Same thing is think about blends. Okay, blends is just this side, this is another side of the nose. They said it's number 1, number 2, and number 3 is hidden behind here. This is another muscle on this side of the nose. This is the top of the nose right here. Just a little bit fun, a little more sketching here. Let's see. So I think for me, if you want to be a portrait artist, you have to learn to draw nose, eyes, everything, you know, and do it as many as you can. I tell my student to do 100 eyes, and you can see the difference from eyes number 1 to eyes number 100. Same thing with nose. If this is your nose number 1, and you never draw the nose before, or you usually draw the nose in a different way, then you should do a little bit more, do a few more. Then you will see, you will understand the structures of the nose better. Okay. And it's good for an artist to understand anatomy too. So this is the nostrils here. This is the wings of the nose. Talking about drawing in general, this outside of the nose here, the wings of the nose here, in general, gonna touching the duct right here. But I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna just focus on the nose at this time. Let's focus on the nose first, okay? You can see that here. If I can continue to draw, it's a little bit more here. I'm stop right there. Just drawing beers here. So when I have the structure down, I can start do a little bit more detail, a little bit stronger. The color I'm using now is 640. And I suggest if you before you using my technique for the full portrait, I would like you to just try to do some feature first, okay? If you like to do the portrait of your partner, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, why don't you take a picture and just draw that person's nose first, draw that person's eyes, so you can kind of learn that person anatomy first, okay? So don't so impatient and or ambitious. That's what the right word is to say. It jump in and draw the whole face right away. You might feel it's very challenging. You find it's not that easy, okay? So just learn a little bit anatomy of that person. Then later on, when you do the whole portrait, you kind of, oh, I already know that structure of that nose. So it's gonna feel easier for you. That's the tip of the nose in here. That's the whole top of the nose. And the tip of the nose is going to highlight hitting on it. I tried to make this video clip not too long. I noticed in the last few times I make the video too long, I think. I tried to make it a little bit shorter. I know we are very busy nowadays, and have a little bit extra time for art is great, but it's hard to have some, 2 or 3 hours just watching somebody is considered very challenging. Myself too. I found I'm so busy, I think, but I understand sometimes it's hard to just spend a few extra hours to study, but I'm still doing it. I'm still studying myself and drawing and reading books and try to understand more to improve myself. And so if I can do it, I think you can do it too. Okay, so try. This is gonna be a bit it's mustard here. I'm not worried about that much here. And come back to my 645. Add a little bit shadows in it. Just a little touch. think that shadow should be darker here. This is 640, come back with 640, 645. And I notice there's the muscle this side, another muscle this side. The next color I'm using to put the highlights on the nose is 681. And focus on this highlight first. Put a little bit of highlights in here. Some highlights in here. Very beautiful soft highlights in here. And I like to use cross hatching. So that's the first stage of the drawing. So the next step we're going to use is with the rim foundation, okay? And I'm going to use this greener here is the 570. And I'm going to put some on top of the highlight first. That's it. And the next color is a little bit darker, it's 575. In this case, I put some on the midtone. And always think about values, okay? And next gonna be a darker green. It's the 585. This I have some in the shadow here. I'm building the whole values in green. So before I go using the neck colors for the skin tone, I like to use this dark brown. It's 635 to emphasize the shadow area first. More shadows in here, and I can see the side. It's beautiful shadows in here. John beers in here to make a little bit suggestion that with the beer. Mustache here. The next color I'm using is got the light yellow ochre. Is 685. Okay, 685. I'm starting with the highlights. See what I'm doing here? Some of the highlights here. You see that? It's some green, turn it to yellow. Okay, and right in this this is broken here. Right in the shadow area, I'm using a darker yellow ochre. Is 615. And please remember, for me, we still have to think about blends. Okay. This blend here, this side, think about three-dimensional, and think about values. When you do, each layer is another value study. Okay, think about it for me. See that now from green turn yellow. The next color I'm using is 642. Got a soft lavender color. And from here you can see it start changing the color from cool to warm. and it start look like skin tone. And I just see that the highlight is kind of disappear, but I will bring it back, okay? Next is the 680. I think this is a very important color, and I always tell this color to my student is called the rescue color. The color, the name of it is a flesh tone color. So in case sometimes you couldn't make the skin look right, put some of this on top, and it's gonna save you, okay? 680. Now you can see it's look like skin tone now. Alright, so since I have losing a lot of my highlight, time for me to bring it back. I'm using 681 again. And the highlight back. And some of the highlights in here. I have a little bit of cause a little bit of wrinkles here. You can use cross hatching technique too, like this. The next color I'm using is 325. Got the warmth colors. It's like light red. I put some of the redness around the nose. If you notice in human face, the nose is pretty warm. Top of the nose is warmer, especially when you are drunk, when you were crying. When you have a runny nose, the nose get pretty warm. Same thing with the ear and both eyes. Is the temperature is just it's just warmer. You see, I put some warmer colors around on top of the nose here. You see that? Make it look more natural. And show you here. So then I'm gonna use black to redraw a little bit to make sure that all the lines look right. So in this case, I draw the nostril here, shape of it a little bit better, and I also draw the outside of the nose and the wings of the nose a little bit better. But the pressure I'm using for black is very light pressure. I don't want to use 100% of the color yet, okay? Just use about 30% of it. And And sometimes you can just use like this color here is 635. It's a dark brown. Be careful, black and white is a very hard color to work with, okay? See that? And I can draw, see a little bit better. Using black. This is another nostril, see, hidden this side. And I'm going to add some little bit darker color in the shadow areas using black, very light touch, just a little bit of the line here. And this is brown, 635. And I think that there's beautiful bumps over here. I'm sure I didn't get the structures of the note right here. With a little highlight, a little bit stronger here. You see that? Now it looks just like John nose now. But I'm not done yet. I'm still working to try to make the edge more colors and make it look like the skin tone. So the color I'm using now is 645. More. It's a very warm color. I love this color. I use 642 on top of this. So many layers. But you notice I try not to use my fingers, okay? I try not to use my finger to blend. I don't like to blending. Come back with my 680 colors. They call the rescue color. So now I'm confident with the drawing. I can use black to darken the nostril here. And I'm very careful using black. For me, it's very hard to use black, and you have to be very careful with this color. If you use them too much, it doesn't look natural. Add a little bit of dark browns on top of it. Soften the darkness a little bit here. It's fun, isn't it? Try to do, or if you have time, please draw some nose. Maybe starting with one, and then later on maybe add another one, because I like you to have the feeling of the pastel and how to use them. In this case, I do a very simple demo here, but it takes almost an hour actually. This means you have to learn to be patient, okay? This technique, if you're not patient, then it's really hard, because it do require a loss of patience. We're almost there. Just a simple exercise to show you how I use my technique to build up the skin color, skin tone, just for the nose. And we can add a little bit of chunk to highlight a little bit stronger here. It's beautiful highlight here. And we can have a little bit of. I'm not gonna spend time to work on the beard because it's not the point, but you can see that a little bit of his John Pierce is here. John Mouse in here somewhere in here. See that a little bit of just something fun in here, okay? Just a little bit of ears and okay, so pretty much this. This is a simple exercise how to draw a nose. And for the next one, I'm gonna show you how to draw a lips, maybe another eyes, maybe another different nose. Okay, so pick up some pencil and do some exercise with me. Okay, and I'm gonna see you for the next episode. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.